Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. Today, we would like to present about principles of integrating language skills. Before we present, we would like to introduce ourselves. My name is Anisa, hati as the first speaker, Putri Dian Arista as the second speaker, and Fauzi Abdul Aziz Basyri as the last speaker. Okay, the first stage is why integrating language-based teaching. Some may argue that the integration of the four skills diminishes the importance of the rules of listening, speaking, reading, and writing that are unique to each separate skills. Such an argument rarely holds up under careful scrutiny of integrated skills courses. If anything, the added richness of the latter gives students greater motivation that converts to better retention of principles of effective speaking, listening, reading, and writing, rather than being forced to plod along through a course that limits itself to one model of performance. Students are given a chance to diversify their efforts in more meaningful tasks, such as integration, can, of course, still utilize a strong principles approach to the separate, unique characteristics of each skill. So, you may be wondering why courses weren't always integrated in the first place. There are several reasons. First, in the pre-communicative language teaching or CLT days of language teaching, the focus on the forms of language almost predisposed curriculum designers to segment course into disparate language skills. Second, administrative considerations still make it easier to program separate courses in reading and speaking and so on, as a glance at current intensive and university English courses reveals. And the last, which I patch to a third reason that not all classes are integrated. There are certain specific purposes for which students are studying English that may best be labeled by one of the first skills, especially at the high intermediate to advanced levels. And the integrations of the four skills is the only plausible approach within a communicative, interactive framework. And the next stage is theme-based teaching or TBT. TBT units are a vehicle for teaching a range of skills and content by integrating curriculum areas around a topic. This method of teaching links curriculum strengths and capitalizes on children's interests, creating a sense of purpose and community in the classroom. By building on their interests and life experience, young people's attitudes, skills, and knowledge are developed in meaningful ways. The time-based teaching, which is also called by Masako in Fatima 2014 as the theme-based approach, is one of the three models of content-based instructional models in which content is a driving force in designing a curriculum. The primary purpose of the theme-based model is to help students develop second language competence with a specific topic area with a focus on language skills and focus while the other two model aims at content mastery. Moreover, Brown in Fatima 2014 states that theme-based instructions offers an alternative in teaching learning process by designing a course around them or topic focused on content chosen. Next is issues around them past based teaching. The structure and durations of the terms study vary according to the resources available and the objectives of the unit. Often, this type of activity is limited to a single day or several half days because of the complexity of organization required. And one advantage of school-wide term studies is that teachers benefit from the interchange of ideas when they come together to work collaboratively. Term-based teaching of a foreign language. First is how children naturally learn. Teaching that is integrated around a theme is claimed to better suit the way that young children naturally learn. It is original first language use. Theme-based teaching requires teachers to choose a theme or topic such as people who help us and then to plan a range of teaching and learning activities related to the theme that incorporated aspects of mathematics, science, arts, language, history, geography, music, and so on. Second is creative thinking and skilled organizations, a long list of activities relating to all areas of the curriculum under one theme. The third is the potential of theme-based teaching is to provide realistic and motivating use of language. The next is variations of theme. In the simplest versions of theme-based foreign language teaching, a topic provides content for a range of language learning activities. Halliwell in Terrier Language Institute 2011 goes beyond this and suggests that the links between the foreign language classroom and other lessons at primary level can work in several directions. There are the first is other subjects areas such as math or art can offer teaching techniques and activities as well as content that can be used in the foreign language classroom. The second is foreign language lessons can provide content for other subjects areas, and the last is whole subject lessons can be taught in the foreign language. Next is planning theme-based teaching. The first is this type of teaching demands years of practicing and experience. The second is even the expert teaching will need careful planning of them to prepare subthemes, tasks, and material, and to identify the language learning goals of each activity. The third is choice point or direction, activity, or timing. And the next is find a theme. A theme can come from the children's current interests, from topic being studied in other classes, from a story, or from a local or international festival, or even a student can be given a stake in the process from the start by asking them to suggest themes or to select a theme from the list of themes. The next is planning content. Two basic planning tools for theme-based teaching are brainstorming and webs. Both techniques allow the connection of ideas in non-linear ways, reflecting the learning process that we are aiming to produce. Brainstorming is a mental process that starts with one idea and then sparks off others through random and spontaneous links. A web is a way of writing down ideas and connections without forcing them into linear form as in a list of in text. The main idea or topic is put in the center of the paper or board and connecting idea with writing around it with lines showing connecting. A theme can be considered as including people, objects, actions, process, typical events, and place. This notion helps start the brainstorming process. And the last is planning language learning task. Having identified sub-themes and guiding question by taking a content perspective on the theme, planning now has to bring a language learning perspective to it, so that the planning move from content to foreign language classroom activities. With this course type and aspects of language use guiding the constructions of language learning tasks with clear goals and stage. Okay, that's all from me. The next material will be delivered by Putri Dian Arista.
Hello everyone, my name is Putri Dian Arista as the second speaker, and now I want to tell you about experiential teaching and the episode hypothesis. The verse is experiential teaching. Experiential teaching or learning is a teaching or learning technique where experience is the main resource. When learners build their knowledge, acquire skills, develop abilities, and values through their own and the direct experience of others, the following is teaching or learning by acting. Many teachers who teach various subjects using experiential learning method. For example, some use game in class, some use laboratories, and there are also assignments outside of class. According to Alkan, experiential learning is described as an efficient approach to learning. The reason for this is the influence of experiential learning on the development of skills of learners, the enhancement of skills by applying experience to real conditions, and the ability to self-learn for learners. You can see that experiential learning techniques tend to be learner-centered by nature. Examples of learner-centered experiential technique include hand-on projects such as nature projects. The second is computer activities, especially in small group. Research projects. The next is cross-cultural experience like camps, dinner group, and etc. And field trips and other on-site visits such as to a grocery store. And the last is role plays and simulation. But some teachers' control technique might be considered experiential, like using props, relief, visual, show and tell sessions, playing games which often involve strategy and singing, utilizing media like a television, radio, and movies. The next material is the episode hypothesis. According to author, episode hypothesis is text, oral or written forms of discourse, which are more episodically organized, can be stored and recalled more easily, and less episodically organized material. Such text can be something that resembles or portrays a story and can help students learn in any of the four fields of expertise. Either reading a short story, performing and voicing lines from a play, listening to an old radio show, or writing a personal narrative. According to Brown, there are some possible ways how the episode hypothesis contributes or relates to integrate skills teaching. They are stories or episode challenge the teachers and textbook writer to present interesting, natural language, whether the language is viewed as written discourse or oral discourse. The next is episode can be presented in either written or spoken form, thus requiring reading and or writing skills on the student's part. So the next is episodes can provide the stimulus for spoken or written questions that students respond to in turn by speaking or writing. And students can be encouraged to write their own episodes or to complete an episode whose resolution or climax is not presented, and the last if those written episodes might then be dramatized in the classroom by the students. And Brown said there is a available place in the classroom for drills, writing practice, grammar explanation, and essays on the world economy, and many other non-episodic practice. But to the degree that a program enables it, episodic teaching and testing may offer a rewarding alternative to sprinkling teaching strategies into your everyday diet. I think enough from me, and the next material will be delivered by Aziz. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Fauzi Basyri as the last speaker. Now I want to tell you about task-based teaching. Task-based teaching provides learner a chance to use the target language in order to improve language proficiency under teacher guidance. In task-based learning, the learner places himself or herself in real situation where oral communication is need perform test. A test is an activity where the target language used by the learner for communication purpose in order to achieve outcome will insert. Like suggest the three stages in task-based learning: the free task, the task cycle, and the language focus. Alice identifies the following feature of task. First is task is a work plan. Second, task primary focus on meaning. 3. Task is designed to use the task in real-world process. 4. Task can involve any of the four language skills. 5. A task engages cognitive process, and 6. A task has thoroughly defined communicative outcome. Swan 2005 suggests the following principle of task-based teaching. First, instruct language learning should primarily involve natural language use, and the activity are designed to get the meaning rather than language. Next is task learning is learner-centered. Task-based instruction can be done best by providing opportunity for focus on the form, which will draw student attention to language elements as they arise in detail in lesson who primal focus in on meaning communication, and more formal pre or post language study may be useful. Next is genre-based teaching. Genre-based approach is a model of writing learning that emphasizes an understanding of how text is built. This model also emphasizes the capacity of the learning process to distinguish between various types of the text. There are three phases which must be followed and implemented in the teaching learning process. First, modeling of the text. Second, joint construction. And third, independent construction of a text. Modeling text. There are four practical steps in modeling text which must be applied during the teaching and learning process. First, in order to improve the classroom operation, the instructor chooses a certain type of genre writing. Second, by modeling and construction of even manipulating the text, the instructor and the student explore the text genre. Third, the order to now understand of the role of the text, the communication, even the text, the learner are guided and subtitled. Fourth, the student study vocabulary usage, grammatical or structural production pattern of certain genre, and when if necessary, student perform to the previous. Join the instruction. There are three practical steps in develop and implement of the joint construction stage. First, the student reconstruct the given genre of writing. Second, the teacher constantly direct the student to speak and to remind the student so that they really understand the prompt of genre given. And next is before going forward to stage the in-depth construction of the text, stage modeling text, and then construction the improvement to review. Independent construction of a text. The students are ordered to write a certain type of genre as they have experienced before by having previous knowledge and experience of the stage 1, stage 2. Appropriate genre form is identified written by student. Okay, maybe enough from us. Thanks for your attention and see you next time. We are from group 6. Say thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.